We've got 10 minutes, guys.
I mean, obviously, Eddie, the most obvious question is, what the hell just happened, and what do you think about it?
Fantastic. I mean, look, we got to always try and keep it a little lid on it, but it was like, I mean, you know, listen, shout out to Richardson because he's talking that talk. George came in. Jim was probably a little bit more riled up than George, and I think George was like, look, talking's done, let's go, and Richardson stuck it on him. Then he got in his face, and George isn't the kind of guy where you can just step to him in his space. Sooner or later he's going to react. He got up, he went for him, and then in the meantime Lenny kind of come across, and Jim kind of, I don't have to watch it back,
Hit him with a mic.
was it a mic?
Hit him with a mic.
And then and then for the whole press conference after that, I can hear Lenny and Jim going at him, right? And Lenny's saying, don't think this is over, and Jim's saying, yeah, you run at me, and I'm thinking, oh God. Anyway, and it was kind of all calm, and then Bill Haney popped up, right? And then Bill's talking that stuff, and then Bill's gone to Lenny, something like, again, I've got to go watch it back. And how do you feel, Lenny? You let Jim Kambosos slap you around the face like a, I don't know, this bitch or whatever, what he's going to say. And he went, yeah, well, I'll tell you how I feel. And then picked up the metal. Like, if you go up there and feel those chairs, they're serious, like they're all metal. And I'm like, what? Jumped in, and luckily the security were there in hand. And listen, it was all, you know, it was all good fun in the end. But this is what's at stake on Saturday night. And this is what we want, high stakes. You know, the world 140-pound championship, and a massive fight for both men's career.
Were you ever worried at any moment being in the middle of that?
No, only when Lenny picked up the chair, because then I realised this is getting a little bit spicy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. But to be honest, luckily I'm a big lump. Like, I can't fight, but I'm a big lump. So if it ever gets, especially, you know, obviously these guys they're not heavyweights. They're a little bit smaller, and I can just put myself in the middle, and if I get one, I'll get knocked clean out. But at least I can get in the middle. But then all of a sudden, Jim's a big lump, and then you've got it's coming from all angles. Do you know what I mean? So security done a great job, and that's the first time I've not done a face-to-face.
Yeah.
Apart from Derek Chisora against Dillian White, where he picked up a table and threw it at me, because that was the same thing where it was about to get out of control. Yeah. And I just chose, let's save that for the press conference tomorrow.
Any concern? We are in Brooklyn. Coach Lenny did not look like he was willing to let it go or will let it go. We have a face-to-face tomorrow and a fight on Saturday.
Listen, time is a great healer. Do you know what I mean? In the moment, I'm sure Lenny's thinking, I'm about to attack Jim outside on Penn Station. Everybody calm down, it's not worth it. Tempers and emotions are high because, one, on the Kambosos side, that's his son. And Jim's never going to behave normally when this kind of thing's going on, because it's his son. Jim's a little bit mad anyway. You wouldn't want to have a fight with him when it weren't his son. When it is his son, don't expect him to be completely normal. Lenny is also probably a little bit out there. You know, Richardson's almost like his son. So it becomes a little bit personal. But just deep breath, and let's get on with the job at hand on Saturday night.
Busa.
Is that what you're going to tell him tomorrow at the weigh-in?
I think,
you
yeah.
don't want the fight ruined.
Yeah, but that's why I didn't do a head-to-head, because at that stage, like, you've got to get the timing right where people love that stuff, right? But we've also got to keep it as respectful as possible and understand that the sport is a sport built out of discipline and respect, and we're trying to teach kids that. So we can't have up there fight everyone just slapping each other, you know, because that's not what the sport's about. But that does much bigger numbers than thank you very much, I look forward to, wish you the best of luck for Saturday. Do you know what I mean? So it's a mixture between the two, knowing that the numbers from today are going to be huge, and that of course builds the excitement for Saturday night.
What do you think about the money, putting 50,000?
Yeah, like if you understand betting, George is right. Whether George has had a bet or not, I think he probably has. Yeah, because it's 7-1. Or you guys say a little bit different over here, but basically, if you bet George Kambosos with Bet Online, our partners, you get, I think, 6 or 7 to 1. So you put 50,000 on, you get 350 back. So why would you bet 50 for 50? Do you know what I mean? But you know, I understand the bravado of it all, but I think I think Richardson Hitchins is the favourite in the fight, but I think 7-1 is a huge price for George Kambosos. especially after what I've seen up there of two guys that are just like anything can happen in this fight. Richardson's the master boxer. He's got to keep his composure. But we saw what, you know, this is like history repeating himself in terms of the build-up for this fight and Teo fight. I don't know if it's a tactic from George, but it's playing out the same way. And I'm sure he'll go with high spirits after that very entertaining press conference.
Do you think you got him out of character at all, or is just motivated?
Richardson, no, to be fair, I thought Richardson was kind of cool with it. He was, you know, I'm up close with these guys. He wasn't shaking. He wasn't, you know, he was pretty cool with it. But still, like, the trainer's now lost his mind, and like Teo's dad lost his mind. Do you know what I mean? So, and wait for the weigh-in tomorrow. We've got to get that out of the way first.
Do you think there any concern with Richard Hitchins making weight? I
No.
know throughout the press, like, throughout the week, George Kambosos is like, make sure you make weight.
No, he'll make weight. He's never missed weight. He's a professional. He'll be making weight.